Picture this. It's a perfect Saturday morning in Harmony Grove, the kind of suburban paradise where every lawn is manicured like it's auditioning for a magazine, and every mailbox matches the HOA-approved beige. Birds are chirping, coffee is brewing, and I'm standing barefoot by my pool with a fresh mug in hand, watching my little brother Liam sketch quietly on the lounge chair like he does every weekend. That pool isn't just water and tiles to us. It's the one place Liam's anxiety doesn't scream at him. No crowds, no pressure, just calm blue silence. Then the sound cuts through the air like a guillotine. Click, click, click. High heels on concrete. And there she is, Karen Whitaker, Harmony Grove HOA president, strutting across my grass like she pays the mortgage. Clipboard in one hand, that plastic smile stretched so tight it could crack a windshield. "Ethan, darling," she trills, waving like we're old sorority sisters. "I have the most fabulous news. Your pool has been officially designated as the centerpiece for our VIP Community Elevation event next weekend. Influencers, sponsors, the works. It's going to put Harmony Grove on the map." I blinked once. Twice. The coffee suddenly tasted like regret. "Excuse me," I said, keeping my voice even because Liam was already shrinking into his sketchbook. Karen didn't even pause. She tapped her clipboard like it was the Ten Commandments. "Per the new event priority amendment, which I personally authored, any premium aesthetic feature can be repurposed for neighborhood advancement. Your pool is perfect. We'll need full access, lounge chairs moved, maybe some string lights. The influencers are already RSVPing. Think of the property values." She said it like she was handing me a winning lottery ticket instead of hijacking my brother's sanctuary. I felt the old familiar burn in my chest, the same one from last year when she publicly shamed me at the annual meeting for anti-community behavior because I dared question why gnome statues needed committee approval. Yeah, I'd stayed quiet then. Smiled, nodded, paid the fine. "Not this time. Karen," I said, stepping between her and the pool. "This is private property. My name's on the deed. You're not throwing a party here." Her smile didn't waver, it sharpened. "Oh, sweetie, that's adorable. But the amendment clearly states, the amendment you wrote doesn't override the law." I cut in, still calm, still smiling because I knew that pissed her off more than yelling. Liam's pencil had stopped moving. Karen's heels shifted. "Ethan, we don't want to make this unpleasant. There are fines for noncompliance. And you remember how the board feels about residents who disrupt harmony." The threat hung there like cheap perfume. She spun on her heel and clicked away, leaving perfect divots in my grass. I watched her go, heart pounding, but something else was rising too. The quiet, cold decision that this time I wasn't rolling over. The next morning, the first reminder envelope was taped to my door like a ransom note. Gentle notice, compliance requested. Inside, bullet points about community benefit and a handy fine schedule starting at $250 per day. By Tuesday, there were 3 more. Wednesday brought a certified letter threatening reputational sanctions, code for Karen whispering to every neighbor that I was the guy who hated progress. Thursday, she showed up again. Same heels, same smile, this time with 2 board members trailing like backup dancers. "Ethan, the influencers are confirming. We've already promised them the best pool in the Grove. You wouldn't want to disappoint the community, would you?" I leaned against my doorframe, arms crossed. "You sold tickets yet, Karen?" Her laugh was pure crystal. "Tickets? Oh no, this is purely philanthropic. Lie number 1. I let her talk. I let her threaten. I let her leave thinking she'd won. Because while Karen was busy playing HOA queen, I was busy watching, learning, and quietly calling a lawyer who specialized in HOA overreach cases. By the time the weekend rolled around again, the mailbox was stuffed with official-looking nonsense, and my phone buzzed with concerned texts from neighbors who'd suddenly remembered I existed. "Heard Karen's really upset, maybe just let her use the pool," one wrote. Another, "She says you're holding the whole neighborhood back." Classic Karen, turning me into the villain for refusing to hand over my own backyard. Liam hadn't left his room much since her second visit. He kept staring at the pool like it was already gone. That night, I sat on the edge of the empty lounge chair, phone to my ear, listening to my lawyer lay it out plain. "She can't touch it, Ethan. Private property trumps her little amendment every single time. But if she's selling tickets," he didn't finish. "He didn't have to. The next morning, I started making calls. Casual ones. Hey, heard about the big VIP thing at the pool. How much are tickets running these days? The answers came fast and expensive. $150 a pop. Non-refundable. VIP access to the most exclusive pool in Harmony Grove, the secret group chat said. Proceeds supposedly going to neighborhood beautification. Except the only beautification happening was in Karen's bank account. I printed everything. Screenshots. Bank transfer confirmations from 3 different neighbors who thought they were supporting charity. I highlighted the bylaws, the real ones, not Karen's fanfiction version. Private pools were never listed as community assets. Never. I even drove to the hardware store after dark and bought the heaviest submersible pump they had, plus hoses and a shiny new, closed for maintenance. Private property signed that Liam helped letter in big black Sharpie. He drew a sad little face on the bottom because even in crisis my brother had a sense of humor. Karen kept texting the whole neighborhood about the unforgettable evening coming up. I kept draining the pool 1 secret gallon at a time at night so the neighbors wouldn't notice until it was too late. Each night the water level dropped another foot, and each night I felt a little more like myself again. The guy who used to speak up before Karen taught everyone silence was safer. The night before her big event, I stood at the pool's edge at 3 a.m., pump humming like a quiet rebellion. The last of the water glugged away into the storm drain exactly as the city code allowed for legitimate maintenance. By sunrise, the pool was a dry concrete crater, tiles gleaming under the early sun like exposed teeth. I planted the sign right at the gate, locked the fence, and poured myself coffee like it was any other Sunday. Liam watched from the window, sketchbook in hand, and for the first time in weeks he smiled. Small, but real. Karen's perfect world was about to crack wide open, and I was finally done being the polite punching bag. The first car screeched up at 10 a.m. Sharp. Karen's white SUV, of course, followed by a caravan of influencers in rented Lumbos and a couple of confused neighbors clutching their $150 tickets. I watched from the kitchen window as she clicked to the gate in a sequined sundress that screamed, "I'm the main character." She froze when she saw the sign. Then she saw the pool. Her scream could have peeled paint. "What did you do?" She rattled the gate like a caged animal. "This is sabotage. Vandalism. The HOA will sue you into oblivion." I stepped outside, calm as Sunday morning. "Morning, Karen. Pool's closed for maintenance." "Check the sign." Liam drew the sad face just for you. Her face went through every shade of red. "You think this is funny? People paid good money. Influencers are here. My reputation, your scam." I corrected, holding up my phone with the ticket screenshots already loaded. $150 a head. Cash App only. Nice touch pretending it was for beautification. The crowd murmured. Phones came out. Karen's backup dancers, the board members, suddenly found the pavement fascinating. She lunged for her own phone. "I'm calling the police. You destroyed HOA property." Sirens wailed minutes later. 2 officers stepped out, took one look at the deed I handed over, then at the bone-dry pool, then at Karen still screeching about community mandates. The older cop didn't even blink. "Ma'am, this is private property. You have 0 written consent for an event here. Selling tickets on someone else's land without permission? That's fraud." Karen's mouth opened, closed, opened again like a broken puppet. But I'm the president." The younger officer actually laughed under his breath. "Not a get-out-of-jail-free card, ma'am." By noon, the influencers were live-streaming the meltdown. By evening, the HOA board had called an emergency Zoom where Karen was voted out 9-0. The apology email the next day was a masterpiece of corporate butt covering. "We regret any misunderstandings." Neighbors who'd been too scared to speak started texting me thumbs-up emojis. Liam swam in the refilled pool that weekend like nothing had ever happened, sketching the blue water with steady hands. And me? I sat on the lounge chair with my coffee, finally breathing easy. So tell me, was I wrong for draining my own pool to protect my home and my brother's peace? Or was Karen the real thief who turned community into her personal cash grab? Drop your verdict below. Who's really the villain here?